Yo, yo! What up, Dead Wild here? I'm Ghetto again, and I'm from Concord, Mass. Yes. Okay, so today's like my second, third day of doing these little shows, and I'm realizing that I didn't talk about myself enough. And we also have to talk a little bit about what's going on, obviously, in today's news, because there are shootings down in New Jersey, and and then actually, sadly, one of my friends died, which is kind of a friend. He's a porn star. His porn name was Bobby Williams. Bobby had a lot of problems. I'm not 100% sure, but I think Bobby died from from drinking and driving, which is very sad. So, if you by chance are having a problem with alcohol or drugs, I recommend that you seek out some assistance, because you know the weird thing is, like, rehab's kind of like spas. I'm not really sure why people are so afraid of it. You get away from everything you don't like. You get to focus on the one thing that you love the most, yourself, and you get to do basically yoga all day. And that's what I think. Okay, so I'm really in an uncomfortable spot. My mom bought me a book. It's really weird. Is that weird that my mom bought me this book? No, I'm just kidding. She didn't buy me this book. It's a book that I bought during a research project, but it's fucking fantastic. If you think you have a fucking problem with masturbation, manhunt, or whatever, I highly recommend taking the surveys in here. You know those, like, Teen Vogue surveys? This is like the next best thing, because you seriously can sit there and actually learn a little bit about why you do the way you do. Okay, moving on to other topics. So I'm kind of obsessed with what's going on today with the hybrid, because to me, like, people talk terribly about certain industries like pornography, and then they also talk poorly about politics. But yet they're on such an opposite end of the spectrum, but they seem to still come back around and connect to each other. And I find that fascinating. Now, people might be watching me going, what is he doing something crazy? Okay, so let's talk about something really nuts. One of the most wild things that I can ever admit to, yes, I had sex at the Manhunt Mansion. Yes, that did happen. Yes, I am lying. No, I'm just kidding. I had to say something crazy because you think I was boring. Although they're going to talk about today is your numbers. Most people don't admit to their numbers. You know, mine's about 87. I don't know if that makes me really bad, because in the straight community, that's really bad. But in the gay community, there's like people who are pushing 500, which is a staggering amount. Okay, here's what I want to know. Tell me your number in the comments section, and just leave it anonymously, just so I can hear numbers, because I love to know what's going on with people and actually know if they're actually doing it. Also, how often do you lie to your partners about your numbers? Do you use the kind of straight method where girls -3 and guys add 2 or something? I want to know all about that also. People have some really interesting things they're talking about these days. You know, there's some hysterical concepts out there that are centered around our need for social acceptance. Like, why is it that gays sometimes play up the fact that they're a gay association? Some gays don't actually even like straight people. I tend to think that's pretty sad and pathetic. I think that gay people are in what's called arrested development. We're kind of stuck about 8 years behind in our brain where we would be if we were heterosexual. For example, if we were normal adolescents, we would have had a sexual experience that was limited to some kind of kissing or some kind of like supportive sexual experimentation around 13. And because our modeling by our parents and our friends and family was not that, we were kind of stuck in our head. We weren't really able to get out of our head and go, what is out there? My hair looks kind of off, maybe. I don't know. If I turn like this. Yeah, I'm pretty critical. And so this kind of arrested development makes us kind of stop and forget that we have to kind of figure out on our own. So our ability to kind of connect is based on our final acceptance of seeing our peers, usually when we enter college. And our peers are based on people that have either fully accepted who they are, or people who are very sexually promiscuous, so we somehow jump to those people because we want to experience it, and we want to know what it's like. So I challenge people into helping our adolescents feel like their feelings are normal and that they can actually explore in a healthy environment in ways that are not there. We should be modeling our behavior as grown adults. I'm 34. If I were to have children, those children should see our healthy relationships so they might mimic something of themselves, and our community needs to see it too. So I got boring all of a sudden. I don't know what the fuck happened there. So back to people who are really slutty. I think without a doubt, gay social networks are some of the most amazing, but also some of the most amazing business contacts out there. Gays represent some of the most powerful people in the world, and some of those powerful people don't have the time to go out to bars and things like that to find people. But you will find them on Manhunt. And when you find them there, you might get an opportunity to pitch them or to engage with them in a business opportunity. I highly recommend that you get off Manhunt for your own need to get off and get on Manhunt for using it for business. Adam for Adam, it's basically full of people who can't afford to pay for a social network. Dudes Nude, it takes too long to communicate. Sucks. There's a few others. I mean, obviously Grindr is probably the bigger one now, but Grindr is so simplified, people can't really expand upon what the hell they're there for. And also, Grindr has some rude asses on it. People think their shit don't stink, and I would predict that at least 40% of profiles on social networks today are fake, using fake pictures. Now, it's one thing to use a fake ass, maybe a fake dick, but if you're using like anything above that, or if you're using the back of the head, come on. Represent who you are. I don't think you have to be the hottest person in the world to get the greatest guy, but you have to be the greatest guy to get the greatest guy. I'm going to do some interviews starting tomorrow with people. I'm so excited. You guys are going to love it. And also, we're going to show you some of the biggest penises live on Skype. Yes, I have organized guys to just show their penises on their pictures. And we can actually like pretend like do measurements. Isn't that crazy? Don't forget to comment on this. Check us out and follow us. Subscribe to us. I promise you're going to see some wild, raunchy, politics, news, anything on the David Wild Show. Do I look weird? All right. Go watch porn, and we'll talk later.